Before you go anywhere, can I just announce, just in case, anyone who is not an owner cannot be in the room. So if you are a tenant, we need to ask you to excuse yourself, if you would, please. Did you say dad? Out?
Yes.
Oh,
It's probably like sweet.
as long as everybody's an owner, we're fine. Go.
Alright, okay. Secretary will confirm that all board members have been notified and notice was properly posted on the association property in advance of the meeting. It was, because I posted it on Saturday night, whenever you said it, Friday night.
Friday.
One of those 2 nights, it's been up there, that's all I can say. Alright, do we have a quorum? Yes, we do, because all the board members are either on the phone or here live in person. Alright, motion to approve board of director meeting minutes from December 9th, 2025 as previously presented.
Oh, typo.
I fixed that. 2025, not 26, because we haven't gotten there yet. Let's just hope that we all do. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Second. Alright, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any cons? Nope, sounds good. Meeting minutes, alrighty. Unfinished business this evening is consideration of additional amenity suspension. That's the first thing on the agenda, so that's what we're doing.
I'm already in new business.
You want my glasses?
No.
So, Janet has gotten some additional information, and we just want to talk a little bit about what the board would like to do, with those owners who are seriously delinquent. So we have to kind of decide as a board, at what threshold do we want to begin suspending the amenities? We have the ability to cut off their Wi-Fi, and we can also, I don't know whose that is.
Sorry.
No worries. We also have the ability to inactivate their second parking permit. So, I'm not sure about the cable. Could we not do the cable?
No, the cable, not the Wi-Fi. We can shut off the cable.
Okay,
Shut off the use of the
internet or parking.
parking, second vehicle, not first, the second
Yeah.
vehicle. And the clubhouse and master pool.
Yeah, okay. So,
I'm thinking if they're at least 60 days delinquent, I think 60 days is a good, 60 days or more would be like this opportunity, maybe things if they happen 1 month that,
is that,
well,
so 60 days, it goes to collection at 30, is that right?
They get the letter, that they're past due each month, and then, yeah, the second one. Yeah, I'm pretty much sending it to the attorney to
Now,
prepare.
With all of the,
And then the Nolan.
different clusters having a different monthly fee, that's gonna make the amount of money at 60 days different for each cluster. Are you gonna have complaints on that, or should we say a flat dollar amount?
No, because I think, don't you think though that if we did it based on the dollar amount, some clusters would reach that dollar amount faster, but if
Right.
we use a date,
Yeah,
like a
it's the
number
same.
like
Yeah.
60.
If it's 6 to 1 or half dozen of another is what it comes out.
Well, no, because think about it, if you are, like, I don't know what the fee and, so like you guys are 800, right?
right.
Whereas if another cluster was at, say, 650, it would be longer than 60 days for them to get to, say, 1500 versus in cluster 2, it would take less than 2 months essentially. So I think that it would be most appropriate to have a timeline, right, not a dollar amount.
That's fine, whatever.
What do you guys think? And those on the phone, like Robin and Fiona, you guys are both muted, but if you wanna interject, please tell us.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a dollar amount, it's just if you're delinquent on your fees, no matter what they are, that it's a month or 2 months or whatever, 60 days. It shouldn't make a difference on the amount.
I agree, hey, that's fine.
Robin?
Or she
John,
can-
what do you think?
I'm fine with that, I'm fine time frame. I don't know if I had to go 60, it would either be 60 or 90.
The dollar amount adds up pretty darn quick. And
It does.
the next thing you know, they're,
Not every-
3 to 5 grand or 4 grand in the hole. And that's money that's not coming into the cluster to do necessary work or repairs that, need to be done. I would say 60 is a more reasonable.
Cause at 60 days, they would have received at least some communication from us and collections,
Mhm.
right? So it wouldn't be a surprise to them that they are in the hole by a certain amount.
Agreed.
Yeah, how does it, that pretty much starts with us, they send us the payment.
Yeah, we send them out between like the 11th and the 15th each month is when ours go because they have a 10-day grace period.
Okay.
And the only reason there's a fluctuation is, think of this weekend, like,
Holiday.
because of the banks, like, we didn't post anything that came in after close of business Friday until this morning. Actually, that's not even true, because banks were closed yesterday, right? So it'll actually post tonight, and tomorrow morning's report will have all the weekend stuff. So that's why we do, like, between the 11th and the 15th, depending on weekends and holidays.
If they miss the 30, say they get their notice now, their 30 days, next month, is it the same notice, or is it a notice that can be changed a little bit that says, hey, you're at risk of losing X, Y, Z? So that it's a little bit stronger of a notice at 60 days before we do it? Or does it have to go as a separate letter or notification?
I think it needs to be separate only because of Florida statute and the way the letter is generated. I would have to pay the software company to create something individual for you that I could attach that to. It's not like, you know, in every other program that we work with, you can add pages, add this, change language.
Change
This
the
is
verbiage.
different, right,
Okay.
right, because of the way it has to pull and be on that late notice.
Did we find out, what it will cost to turn them back on once they're current, as far as their cable TV is concerned?
No, he said he's gonna put in that, we don't have that switch thing, but they're gonna put it in, they put in that switch thing, and I think we just log in and do it.
Oh, okay. So there wouldn't be a fee that we'd have to pay.
Well, I don't think we would pay anyways, like, it would be assessed to the actual.
Well, it would go back-
Absolutely.
It would go back to them.
Yeah, if there's any charge, it's gonna go to the owners. The same with if the second car,
Yeah.
if they don't open their mail or read their mail and their second car gets towed, we're not paying that.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Robin, do you have anything to add? I'm gonna give her a chance, I don't know if she can even hear us. You'll find her. So it sounds like we're kind of zeroing in on 60 days as being what we're comfortable with, is that about right? Have you seen this put in action by other associations and any pitfalls we should be aware of?
I've never seen anybody shut off parking, but I don't have any others that park, so I'd have to ask the other managers.
Okay.
But I don't, the amenities, absolutely. But, you know, like you guys, they still have access to a pool because you guys have keys. That might be something you wanna build in for the future, but
I have a question. If, one of my delinquents is from an owner, but the renter's in the building and they're paying their rent on time, how does that affect them?
that's the owner's
That's the
problem, to
owner.
work out with those tenants.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it affects them because,
I mean, they're current on their rent, but he's behind on,
Yeah.
HOA.
Yeah.
It's the
I have
same,
those.
same thing with like a mortgage foreclosure, so if the owner is renting it out and the tenants are paying on time, but the owner is not paying their mortgage, the bank can foreclose on it even though the tenants are doing what they're supposed to, because it's ultimately, it's the owner's responsibility to make sure that they take care of their own bills, so it's the same thing.
Okay.
You want a motion?
I'm trying to unmute Robin, for some reason it doesn't seem to want me to be able to do that.
I do want to, prepare a letter, you know, and just send it to you for review.
Yeah.
before I start using it, but I'll just email that and you guys can check it over.
Do you know how many people would be affected by this now?
Um,
If there's a little 13, but I think we're a little lower than that.
Yeah, 'cause we've had.
Yeah, I know, yeah, one or two, at least two have paid in full that were on the list last time.
That's wonderful.
So I can't remember how many we were last time, but
Okay.
yeah, maybe we're like 13.
Oh my, okay.
But out of 176, that's not.
That's not that bad.
Now, I do have a question though, what about people that are pretty high, but they're on a payment plan? If they're on a payment plan and they're meeting their,
As long as they're meeting their pharmacy payment plan, then I don't have a problem with them having amenities.
okay.
I think that would be fine.
But
Robin?
if they, were to default in that payment plan, then as an immediate, I would think that no, you know, there would be no warning on that one. If they, become the ones on payment plan, then it's immediate.
Yeah, as far as me, if an owner, makes payment arrangements, which did happen this past year, a couple of times. If I check them every month, if they have made their payment, then they're fine. If they haven't made their payment, I don't send them another letter. I just send them immediately to the attorney. So,
Yeah,
I would do the same.
yeah.
Okay.
So, motion?
I'll move that, at 60 days, they lose their privileges for parking, cable TV, access, second car parking,
Yeah.
access to the clubhouse, and,
Master pool.
the pool, the big pool, yep.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Robin, can you chat? I don't know why.
Are you just
I
gonna mess
do
with
show
her?
her unmuted.
Well, I was gonna say commuter and I'll just call her.
Okay. No, she's muted now. I think she's doing it. And she doesn't realize that she's doing it. She knows how to use it. She does, she's, I mean,
Must be wrong.
something's going on. Maybe it's all those grandbabies that are.
There you are, Annette.
I'm talking and everything, and it's not
Okay, well, you're on speaker.
going through.
All right, you're on speaker now, so there you go. So, careful.
I agree. The thing I was saying on my message, I said, so maybe Laura could put something in our newsletter to warn people of what the new policy is gonna be.
Yep,
We can do that.
I had planned on doing that once we.
Hey, mute your teams to Zoom.
We've been doing like telecom for 6 years, and one day, maybe in 20, we'll figure it out. All right, so we have all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Mute yourself.
All right, so
Just log, Robin, just log out of Zoom. Just log out.
I wonder if I can kick her out.
Down on the phone and not on Zoom.
There you go. Perfect. Okay.
Okay. All right, so motion passes, unanimously. All right. I know there were a couple people who had raised their hand as we were talking about it, Ray.
Too late. I was gonna say, why would we wait and do it at 60 days? Why not do it at 30 days?
30 is probably too.
You could go with the letter, the same time.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a little grace. Not
All right.
much, but, yeah.
If they
We
keep
could
it up.
modify it, I guess, if we
Yeah.
needed to.
Yeah. Jim, did you have something?
Yeah, my only question was, what about the people who have a payment plan?
Yeah.
You know, do we-
If they're on a payment plan, as long as they're in good standing with their payment plan, they won't be,
Right.
subject to it. But if they break their payment plan or miss their plan, then they immediately get shut off.
Not, I missed it, I'll get back on it. You miss
Yeah,
it, you're off.
You're off,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
How long is it gonna go on? Indefinitely until they catch up? Or what's the next level then, you know, they don't care about their amenities and they continue to be behind? How long?
They're still going to the attorney for
Yeah.
collection, so this is just an additional.
Yeah,
Slap on the hand.
yeah, I mean, I can say Janet's efforts in the last, I mean, she sent out communications, and those 2 payments that we received were not small. Because it was a rental unit, and then it was a sale, and it was like, nope, you're not gonna, and they issue payment within days. So, this is probably, our best line of defense at this point, to try to get people to realize that this can't continue.
So the 13 people that are delinquent now, have they been delinquent for a long time?
Yeah.
Majority of them, yeah.
So
Yeah,
are-
they're already all been at the attorney and, yeah. One of them, I think we're heading toward foreclosure with, yeah. A couple of them are on payment plans and they're paying it, so
So,
it would be most of the 13, not all of them.
every little bit, right? Okay, anybody else? Yeah.
One other question, is there, a breakdown by cluster as to those 13?
Yeah, but I did it last month and didn't bring it again this month, I'm sorry. Who has that email?
I probably still have it from last month.
No,
Oh, I
I sent
have
it
the
today
email.
because I sent you all the
Yes,
minutes,
yeah.
yeah, hang on a minute. Look at my sent. Nice meeting.
Delinquent update, old attorney, okay. So we have, oh, you know what, I think there was actually 3 that have paid because of the one that just made payment compared to the couple that came in last week.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, you know what, I did it by cluster last time, I figured it out, but I can't tell from this because I don't know them well enough.
I know that's 1 and 3, that's 2, that's 3, not sure about that one, and that one is 2.
What, you're in 2, right? What's your range, numbers?
6302 to, 6368 or something like that. It's the 6300 sequence that evens.
Evens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 of them are yours.
But we've also gotten payment from 2 of yours as well, so, yep.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions before we move on to new business, or commentary, I should say? No, okay. All right, next update, or next for, on the docket is consideration of fence accident/repairs.
This is the brand new one I just got right before I was coming here, that is to include the new area that the wind blew.
Okay.
So
That was
you're
my,
gonna ask me?
yes, ma'am.
And the wind blew because it was not fortified, because the kid crashed through the
Yeah,
fence.
yeah.
No, is this the one that's on the-
We do have
Yeah.
some detail though, which is good.
Yeah,
They
so
happen to
that-
be out in the area, so she had to run by, and
Okay.
so this was the update.
40 feet of 40 feet, 6-foot tan fence, 7 posts, aluminum post insert. Posts are secured in the ground with concrete.
Wasn't that done before? And so, right, wasn't that done with concrete?
But I know it was
before?
done here, where,
By like the input stuff, but
yeah.
did we fortify with, on all of the posts?
No.
Do you remember? That was none?
I don't think so.
Okay, alright.
So if you guys want to approve this, I didn't get you other bids,
Yeah.
because I already sent the one to the insurance.
Well, and, they did a nice job the last time too, so, and they were pretty low cost for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so this is all of the damage that's over along Manatee.
Yeah, including the new section, right?
Okay.
Does this get billed to the insurance company at the process?
Not the whole thing, because that includes the stuff that just blew down last night.
Like
or over the weekend.
$400 of it.
There's
Yeah.
more that blew down?
Yeah.
Yeah, the winds are so high that it
Well, I
blew
know that
another
it's
chunk.
overrate as you go out. There was
It's-
a whole section that came down.
Yes, it's right after that. It's right there.
Okay.
It's just another piece.
Yeah.
Another
For
piece
the
or two.
old account.
When was that? I saw it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it yesterday.
He must have put it in.
Yeah, you might have.
What, that piece? It's not, I just drove in that way.
Yeah, no.
It's like the big hole, then there's a panel, and then there's
There's
the
a
And
other
then
hole.
there's another section, but I'm talking
There
about
was
on
one
the
over
exit
here.
driveway to Manatee.
Oh.
There's
There
one
was
here.
another section that was right there that was all down yesterday.
With a drum kicked through it
Or
or
the day
something.
before.
Oh, that's cute.
And, yeah, that's what it looked like, but the panels, it looked like the end pieces that were hooked together were broken off. So I'm not exactly sure how it got put back together, and for how long it's gonna stay back together.
That's not included in this,
It's
I'm
missing,
sure.
unfortunately.
Oh.
That's not for this one, it came from. Are there any questions or comments on the bid that we got?
This is from,
There it is.
So this is mostly part of the lawsuit, not, I mean, the lawsuit, the insurance claim, not all of it, but, so I just need a motion to approve that if you guys are okay with
I
that.
have one question, is Fred gonna be doing this one, or is it gonna be, Jesus?
Well, this one's Mr. Perez, supposed to be
So it should be
Mr.
his
Perez
people.
Landscaping, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
There
I'll
might-
put in a motion to approve that one.
Come on, you don't wanna look out and see Manatee anymore?
No, thank you.
Fiona was just waiting for
That's
that.
right there.
I'll put in the motion.
I've heard of the
right?
water view, but not the
Mhm.
Adelaide
But
Beach.
she got a nice traffic view now, it's all the, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a
And
second?
fresh air, I'll second.
I'll second.
So those questions on that one, huh?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Alright,
You have a question?
approved. Yeah.
So it's being covered by insurance, the damages?
Yep. The, mother,
Most of
the
it.
mother's vehicle was driven by her son. And, you know, she contacted Janet, which I don't know how she found you. It's interesting, and said that her son had a tire blowout. I defy you to find any semblance
On New
of
Year's Eve.
tire.
At 10:30 at night.
Any rubber on the road over there.
She didn't say it had tire blowout, she said, we think, and I want to, I'm gonna go take a look at the car and see if I can figure it out, but I was just wondering, and I was like, well, it's New Year's
We
Eve.
know,
Yeah.
we know what happened.
New Year's Eve.
It was a very early night for the young buck. All right, so that's approved, awesome.
Tire blew out.
Next up, oh, discussion regarding.
Question about that,
Oh,
if I
yeah.
Laura.
Yeah.
On Manatee right now, they have like, a wire going across the big empty space. And is that like legit? Like if somebody walks and trips, are we gonna be responsible when they sue us because they're laying on Manatee Avenue? Because there's no warning, you know what I'm trying to say, and you cannot see it at night. And it's just a wire, and it's probably about this high, just enough that if you decide to cut through there, and you hit it the wrong way, you're not making it over that wire. You were fine, and I'm not sure why it was put there.
It looks like a property.
It looks like a plumb line or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly, that's what it is.
But, you know where I'm coming from.
I do,
Somebody does
I
go
do, I
in-
actually thought I was gonna cut by and then I saw it there.
Yes.
But that's also our property, it's private property,
Yeah, but,
so they would be
and that's fine, but,
trespassing.
and that's all right, it's our property, and that's what I'm saying to you, but if somebody's cutting through, it's our property. Are
But
we responsible when they're laying on all those rocks out there?
I mean, the only option we have is to do some sort of temporary fence, like one of those ugly orange.
Or another wire and hang a sign on it that
If
says.
it had like flags or something on it, you know what I mean, like something like, you know, I don't know how they do it, but if you had some kind of ribbon or something that would get somebody's attention. But if, you know, I'm just saying, I'm fine, but if somebody's making that decision to leave it there, and then somebody really gets hurt, I don't think we need any more
No,
problems.
You're talking about the opening in the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some caution tape, I push them, put the caution tape up
Oh,
through there.
yeah, that.
Yeah,
Two
no,
or three,
Okay.
two or
That
three of
would be
them.
helpful.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mike to the
You're the
rescue.
best.
Are you able to do it in your shorts, or do we have to wait for warmer weather? I'm just checking.
It's gonna happen in my shorts.
All right.
And a
And a
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
And my t-shirt, cut off anyways.
Yep.
You can tell where he comes from.
It's that thick Wisconsin blood.
Oh, yeah. All right, perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
So discussion regarding fire extinguisher inspection, smoke alarm affidavits, consideration of new company for fire extinguisher inspection.
Now, listen,
Yes.
we had the new company last year.
But they never scheduled us.
They did it in March, right?
No, they did it as like we got like a 4-day heads up and we're like, this is not adequate. Cause, so we said no.
Okay.
We can't do that, we have to be able to do it when more people are here, and we have given them adequate notice, so they can, if they're not there, they can arrange for somebody to,
Okay.
yeah.
So they can do, she just sent me back the same thing,
Okay.
because the price hasn't changed. But I did hear back from American Fire System, so I didn't know if you want to go to somebody else, but they're more expensive, so this one, inspection tags, $2,719, so I can't imagine you wanna go to someone else.
What, that's the thing is that just what they write on there, that they've checked?
Yeah, now he gave me the prices like for, fire extinguisher, 6-year maintenance, and hydrostatic testing will replace it with a reconditioned 5-pound for $49. You have one in your packet, and highlighted.
I might as well just redo it.
Sure, you go ahead, I'm just saying.
I don't have to dig through.
Mine is not in larger print than yours, I'm just.
Laura,
I don't have.
I don't have it.
I don't have it either.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I didn't give it to you. All right.
Thank you.
So we're not.
I had one in my packet.
Which is right here.
But yeah, maybe that's why I didn't do it, because it was so much more money. He did give us like the breakdown, like what it would cost if he had to replace one or recharge one, but just the inspection was over $1,000 more, so I didn't even consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the whole place, their quote was 1,633, and they're only charging us one service call.
Yes.
That was yours.
That was my sticking
I
point.
remember that last
That's why
year.
we discontinued use of High Barker, because they charge us an individual cluster admin fee for the master and all 6 clusters.
But they only came on one day, same guy,
Yeah.
did the whole thing,
Yeah.
and
then-
charged us 6 times.
And they tried to do it again, and they
Or
charged us.
7 times.
And they charged us for extinguishers they did not even see, because they were all included on the invoice, because he even put the units that he wasn't
Inspected,
able to
yeah.
inspect. And like for me, mine was out, he walked right past my door, did not grab it, and I was on the list in the cluster, we were expected to pay for the inspection. I was like, nope, this is not how you do business. So I was irritated.
They say here, if a rewalk of the property is necessary due to extinguishers not being placed outside after text initial walkthrough, $160 per hour will be charged for a return trip.
Well, then if we have to pay a return trip, then that's gonna go to, the individuals, I don't know,
Yeah.
we just need to make sure that, and perhaps it's one of those things where we have to be sure that somebody's here and can physically, make sure that they are pulling every single one that's left out. Because after Clay Barker, I don't trust it.
So what do you think's a good time, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? Maybe a
No,
month's too early.
I think 2 weeks is,
I think 2 is fine.
2 weeks is fair, I mean, yeah, 2 weeks, because that should give people enough time to contact neighbors or anybody who could potentially go and drag it out for them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks is adequate.
Yeah, I think anything more than that,
I
people
do
will
too.
definitely forget.
She's still had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll get that scheduled in and we'll get that notice out.
All right, review discussion of current landscape contract.
I printed, you're not gonna go through a line by line, I'm sure, but I printed everybody a copy of it
I wanted to
discussing
hear
it.
that. I wanted to.
Can we order DoorDash?
I have peanut butter and jelly, you want it?
No.
That was nasty.
Hey, mean,
I'm not being mean.
2 week notice. Okay, so landscaping service contract.
Are there any sections in there you can call out?
Well, so to give you guys, so,
Yes, all of them.
I mean, here's the deal. This contract has not been executed. So they have been operating on a month-to-month contract with us for, well, it looks like since 2022. And the concern is if you don't have an executed contract, you can't hold them to what they're not doing.
Yeah.
So that's the big reason why this is in front of us right now. And there are some things in this contract that when I looked at it, I was like, what? That I do have some very serious concerns with because we have been paying for it.
Paying extra.
So mulch, for instance, in this contract that was originally drafted for our use, mulch was included once a year. Both the purchase of the product and the installation. We have spent, I know you pulled the numbers.
3,000 in cluster one.
Janet actually pulled the history of how much money collectively has been spent on mulch, and we have not had mulch put down, without paying for it. There's a lot of what's in this contract,
Trimming of the palm trees.
palm trees,
We
if
pay
they're
extra,
over
every cluster pays $1,000.
15 feet, is
Yeah,
supposed to
palm
be
trees,
included.
correct, yeah.
And, you know, there's, on this,
Weeds in the cracks.
there's weeds on here, there's when you're going to, how frequently they inspect the irrigation system. All of this is on here, and from what we have heard from the community and from directors is it's not being done. And if it's not being done, and we've been paying, because operating off the assumption that they were doing this work because they were contracted to do it, it's, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me that, you know, we've been expected all this time to just continue paying $5,000 a month, but we're not getting $5,000 worth of work in return.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Yes.
Just because poor Tricia and Jerry down there.
Oh,
Can we go back to the other table format, or at least
I
angle
was
these?
thinking the same
Because
thing.
you're talking to everyone out here, and there's
Here,
nothing
can
wrong
you
with
put
that,
your
but
tables like
the
this
people
way?
that you're talking to can't.
I know, I was thinking the same thing, that we should have like a.
Let's do it
don't-
next time,
Don't,
like,
don't
yeah,
separate
we'll
this,
just
like
like
my
go
laptop is gonna
so
crash.
you can see each other.
We need to speak up too, in case the back end can't hear us.
Yeah.
My voice carries quite well, but.
So that's kind of how this all came about, right, was what are we paying for? We've been operating in good faith that these things were part of our contract, only to discover we didn't have an executed contract. But we've been paying the amount that's in this contract without question. And so, part of the challenge that we have is, in my opinion, Jesus is very short-staffed. We know that. We're not sure why. His wife used to help. She used to basically drive the workers, and she was a taskmaster and did her thing. But she has not been on our property in probably a year. And we have consistently Jesus is here, and this very tiny
little
girl, woman, I don't know. And then sometimes there's another man. So how do 3 people get all of this accomplished? And it's like in a 2 days, if you will, per week. Like, in my opinion, they are not, even without a contract, they are not even meeting the month-to-month requirement and standards that they set in place for us.
Well, remember when I was here back in October, my cluster's lawn didn't get mowed for 2.5 weeks.
That's nuts.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
1 second, just wait.
I happen to live in cluster 6, and I know of 2 bushes that are completely dead, have been for over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's just an eyesore to me. It needs to be.
Can you just wait till the board's done discussing, then we'll
Sure.
open the comments to
Sure.
the floor? Thank you.
So, I don't know what the rest of you have noticed in your clusters, or that, you know, has been brought to your attention. But, you know, as Janet said, Jesus, they're inexpensive. You know, $5,000 a month is inexpensive. I don't even wanna think about what an alternative would be, but I think that, if Jesus wants to continue getting $5,000 a month from us, then this stuff has to be negotiated and we need to hold him to what's fair.
I was gonna say, we definitely need to get an updated,
Yep.
an updated and signed contract.
And we've asked.
Well, Laura and I are gonna meet with Jesus and the interpreter. But,
But the point being is that we don't have
I
a problem.
purposely said interpreter so
You
Nancy
did.
wouldn't get fired up.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
I would get fired at just thinking about it.
I know.
But,
Anyways,
but the point being is, everything that's in here that, in essence, it is what we want him to do. It's just that we need to make sure that it's included. So the contract itself is not in bad shape. And I guess it would be a question of, in my opinion, I think we approach him with this contract in full. Your amount stays the same, but we want all this stuff done at no extra cost. And then if he balks, or wants to look, then we go from there, but.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking, I mean, the fact that, I mean, on the terms, first page of the actual contract, it was termed through 2023, so I mean, we definitely need updated.
Yeah.
And then on, one thing I noticed too on, on exhibit B, it talks about Village Green.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's,
know, if you're ready.
Yeah, we brought that.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, we're well aware of a lot, it's as
A lot of
if,
errors.
it's as if it got cut and paste, and then it was signed and executed, but not by both parties.
We signed it on our side. EJ did sign it.
Yeah. It was
But
signed by
I
EJ,
don't
but
know
not
that he gave it to them only because they
It wasn't
can't
fully-
produce it.
It wasn't fully
Yeah.
executed.
Well, even if they did, even if it was executed, it's still expired in 2023.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
so either way, we need an updated and correct
Now,
contract.
if they push back on actually fulfilling the contract as written, with all the extra stuff that they're supposed to have been doing and haven't been doing for the last 3 years, do we have a leg to stand on to tell them, you haven't done any of this and we paid for it? To push back against them a little harder, because that's wrong. I mean, that's no different than stealing money from us.
We don't have an executed contract to,
So
what
we're-
are we
we're
gonna
toast.
use to, yeah.
We have to, you don't have a leg to stand on, really.
No.
So, and he's been perfectly fine going month to month with us, so I can understand why.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
He's getting a good end of the stick.
Well, this is really low money
I know.
for this contract.
I know,
Oh,
he
it
said
is.
that.
So,
um,
you know,
Which is hard, right? It's very hard for me because it's like, I realize that it's inexpensive, but I also feel like we've been kind of taken advantage of.
We have,
Um,
and that's my point.
And he's either gonna say that this is stuff that he is capable of doing and including in our contract, or he's not, so we have to be prepared either way with what we're gonna do.
Can I just say
How
something?
much is it to have somebody just
One
go,
second.
just
Okay,
for
okay, sure.
comparison?
That's a good question, Robin. How much is
How
it
much
for
is
just
it?
someone to have them come out and cut your grass?
how would I know? No.
We don't?
Off the top of my head?
No, like
No,
an
but,
average, like if you really landscapers, what do they charge roughly for just like mowing any of your complexes? Just a ballpark, it doesn't have to be exact or anything.
She's got
I
nothing.
mean, it depends on the size, the area, I mean, there's so many other factors, I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
My postage stamp lawn at my house is like 1/8 of an acre, and my house takes up like 99% of that, and I still pay $120 a month.
How often do they want weekly?
Once a week, but it's like 1.5 swipes. They literally go around the house once and then do the front yard twice.
Wow.
Sounds like
I wanna buy a lawnmower.
I mean, it's literally a postage size,
Wow.
yeah. But that's, so for that little bit of area, that's 480, 500, I don't even do the math, 480 a month? Some, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's what I think we should do, is just modify this.
That's what I pay for, the convenience of
Yeah, I
not.
not
understand.
having.
Modify it and present it, and see so.
Yeah, you know what, I mean, I have an old, probably when you were doing this, I have an old, in the file, there's like a 2019 estimate from another landscaper that I know and still use in other communities, and I know they're way higher. Yeah, maybe they were out to bid or something. I wanna say it was like Brightview or West Bay or or US Lawns, it was one of those bigger ones that we got an estimate from.
Well, maybe we even look at that contract and see if anything's missing that's in that contract that perhaps we could add to this one.
Not at this price.
Proposal. No, but, well, it depends, if we miss anything in this contract.
Yeah.
That's.
Should we have a company come out and just give us a ballpark figure of what it would be just to mow, just to have a comparison?
I would say no, Robin, because we need trimming done on our shrubbery. The edging needs to be done. There would have to be a number of different, or additional things besides just mowing. And, you know, basic, really basic stuff.
If somebody came out and said, okay, we'll charge you, $4,000 a month to just mow, then we'd have a